What's going on, people? Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV and welcome back to another Tottenham update. The World Cup draws closer, but in terms of Tottenham, more transfer news and transfer speculation coming our way, and I've got 3 or 4 transfer news stories to bring to you. And let's start off with Marcus Thuram, and from the publication Bild out in Germany, and they say Borussia Mönchengladbach are willing to sell Tottenham target Marcus Thuram for a cut price fee of only 8.7 million in January to avoid losing him for free in the summer. I mean, that's surely, if that's true, that's got to be one that we got to be looking at.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some inconsistencies before, but this season he's really come back to life. 10 goals in 15 Bundesliga games. He's been playing primarily as a centre forward this season, but he's obviously played on the wing. We know he could play on the left or the right. He's in the France squad as well. He's at a decent age. I think that it could be a bit of a no-brainer to try and get him through the door if it's cut price. I think it's a low-risk, high-reward kind of thing. And I'd much rather go for someone like him than like a Malinovsky. I think he would fit us what we need a bit more. But are the question marks over his inconsistencies still there? I mean,
He's doing really well this season, though.
Yeah, well, his contract's up at the end of the season, which is why he's available for a cut price fee. We have seen it many times before when players are looking for a contract. They up their game until they earn one, and then sometimes they don't always follow it up with the same level of performance. But I think he's shown before what a good player can be. I think last couple of seasons hasn't been as good, but I think this season he's shown that he can get back to those levels. I
mean, this season he's played 15 games in the Bundesliga, scoring 10 goals and getting 3 assists. That's nothing to be sniffed at. That is unbelievable record. Last season he did have a poor season, only scoring 3 goals in his 21 appearances. Season before, 8 goals, 2 assists in 29 games, and season before 10 goals and 8 assists in 31 games. So this season is his best season by far. He's already hit 10 goals.
Yeah, so he's really come back to life. There was a lot of talk around him a few years ago, but then he, as you say, he's went a couple seasons where he was a bit iffy, but he's come back to life this season, and he earned a call up to the France squad. So it just goes to show how well he's doing. So definitely one to look at. But then you have to analyse it a lot, because recently it's been very mixed fortunes for Bundesliga forwards. You look like people like Timo Werner consistently getting 25, 30 goals in the Bundesliga, and he's came to England and didn't do very well. So obviously, there's a bit more analysis you have to do.
I'd rather look at Heung-min Son.
Yeah, exactly. Then you look at Son, who did very well in the Bundesliga, has done very well here. So I'm not saying just because he's done well in the Bundesliga it doesn't mean anything, but you just got to be careful. But 100%, look, 8 million, if we're able to get him, I think it's probably a good deal.
I agree, completely agree. Let's move on. Calcio Mercato are talking about Denzel Dumfries, and they say Inter Milan have slashed their asking price for Tottenham target Denzel Dumfries for just 30 million euros, which is £26 million ahead of the January transfer window. I mean, why would they do that?
Maybe because I think there's always been rumours with Dumfries that they're looking to sell him ever since his first season there. I don't know. They don't really seem too happy with him, do they? Inter Milan
he plays every game.
I don't know. I know, but like you could say, like Emerson plays every game. You know what I mean? We're not very happy with him. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but like it's constant rumours that he's leaving, and they never seem like. And whenever you hear the rumours, it's never like they're demanding that much. It's always like, oh, they're willing to accept this much for him or something like that. So maybe it's a case of they're looking to upgrade him. I don't know. But I think he's definitely upgrading what we have, 100%. And I think with someone like Dumfries, obviously his defensive ability isn't great, but I'd much rather coach a good attacking player to be defensive than try and coach a good defensive player to be attacking. I think that's much easier that way around.
I think after looking at Emerson Royale, I think anyone would agree with you on that one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Dumfries, 100%, I'd bring him in. 26 million as well is not a bad price. And I think it gives us much more of a threat down that wing. But then again, there's obviously take backs as well, and defensively he's not great, so he might get caught out a few times. But if Conte can coach him right, maybe he can become a much better player.
He's one that
Conte ever have him?
No, that's what I was thinking. He joined after Conte left, I think. because last season was his first year at Inter.
Yeah, so maybe a few weeks under Conte can really sort him out.
Let's hope so. But
If
he's
we're
one
again.
I'd definitely love to see through the door anyway. In terms of more Inter players being linked to Spurs, we've got Stefan de Vrij, again from Calcio Mercato, and they're claiming that Antonio Conte has already spoken to Inter Milan centre-back Stefan de Vrij about a move to Tottenham in January transfer window, and he may only cost between 3.5 and 4.3 million pounds as his contract runs out at the end of the season.
I mean, it's very cheap. Very cheap. I would take him. I would 100% take him. He represents a big upgrade of what we have. I don't think like you don't sign De Vrij and think, okay, this is our future sorted. But you definitely what he does give, he gives competition, gives a rotation option for Eric Dyer, and he gives an upgrade. And I think he would automatically upgrade our defence. But we probably would want a younger, higher potential centre back as well along with him. But De Vrij 100% would be a good buy, and it's a very cheap price as well to pay.
It's crazy cheap for someone of that quality. I mean, Netherlands international mainstay in the Inter Milan defence, has worked with Conte before.
Not
30 years old.
30 is not that old. Not that old for a centre back.
Yeah, I know. But
It's not young.
If you look at him though, he is already going grey, and you're thinking,
yeah, all right, but he's not. But you know, he could have a few more years left in him. So I don't. That's a good deal. But we want more. But like, yeah, I think that would represent a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, he's one that you bring in that you probably want to look to upgrade in the next 2 years at least. You know what I mean?
2-3 years, yeah, probably. But at least he allows Dyer to get a break, offers competition and rotation, and that's what we need.
I think I would prefer probably go for a more like young centre back. Pay more money, obviously, but I think we need to start looking about the long term as well as the here and now. Where you look at our squad now, it is aging a little bit with the players of like Harry Kane, Heung-min Son hitting 30. You've got Matt Doherty, Ivan Perisic. You've got quite a few players. Dyer and we've got an aging squad, don't we? So we need to start getting that average age down a bit, which we have started to do it, but we need to carry on doing that. Next up, we're going to talk about another Inter Milan player in Federico Demarco. Calcio Mercato once again saying that Tottenham Hotspur could launch a move for Inter Milan left-back Demarco next summer. He is having a good season with Inter Milan this year. What would you make out of Demarco?
Yeah, I like Demarco, but we have Udogie coming back unless we're intending to put him out on loan. We have Perisic playing fairly well.
How long is Perisic going to be at the levels though? What, 33 already?
He's 33. I don't know. I mean, he's
for a wing back as well. You need a lot of energy for that.
Yeah, but I'm saying we've got Udogie. I mean, obviously, are we intending to sell Sessegnon? A lot will depend on that. I mean, Demarco's a good player. I like. Do you play wing back for them?
Yeah,
I think he's good. I've seen him a few times, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna if the left back's gonna be one of our priorities next summer.
Yeah, I mean, it all very much depends on what he thinks of Sessegnon and if he thinks Perisic can still do it next season.
Yeah, I mean, Perisic goes into his last year next season. Are we going to really offer him a new deal? I mean, I guess depends on how he progresses or not.
You're not going to offer him a new deal at 34, really.
I mean, depends on how he keeps going. I think that if he's playing how he is in the moment, you might do, but. Depends if he's declining badly or not.
Yeah, I think a bit of a stretch to offer him a new contract at 34 for a wing back. I think it's a bit crazy to me, but we'll see what happens. I think that we need upgrades in both the wing back spots looking into next season. I mean, Sessegnon, I'd like to see an upgrade of him, and everyone knows our troubles on the right hand side anyway. So I would definitely welcome a new left wing back. That's for sure.
Sign the whole of Inter Milan, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. Bastoni as well. We're not giving up on him. Skriniar hasn't signed a new contract. We're not giving up on him.
And don't forget all the Juventus rejects as well.
And Lautaro we want. So basically, we're just going to get all the Inter players. We're going to turn into Inter Milan.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up is we're going to talk about Pochettino, and the Telegraph are reporting that Mauricio Pochettino could be open to taking over the England job if Gareth Southgate leaves after the World Cup. And he probably would be a really good option, wouldn't he?
I think it would be a brilliant option. I think he would really get England playing in a more aggressive, attacking, intense way. Right now, I understand that we play a certain way, and maybe it's because of we don't believe in our defence. But we've got such attacking talent, and I really believe that Pochettino would be the perfect manager to harness that talent and get the best out of them. And I believe as well he would get us playing more entertaining football. And with the attacking talent we have, I think Pochettino could be perfect for them.
I get that, but the flaws in defence are going to be very, very worrying if he does take over, because
But look how he improved our defenders.
I mean, yeah, he improved them, but we had Jan, Toby, Rose, and Walker.
Rose and Walker, everyone was ready to get rid of them before.
They were ready to get there. First of all, they're wing-backs, and England's wing-backs and full-backs are all right. They're not too bad. You're talking about the centre-backs. You're not going to get centre-backs for England the level of Jan and Toby. And you saw once they started to decline, once our centre-backs started to decline, we were like an open shop.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. It was the whole team started to the whole energy of the team. And also the wing backs we downgraded them as well. So it wasn't just the centre backs; it was a whole culmination of issues. But I really think Pochettino, with the players we have, I think would be brilliant for this England team. But then again, the question marks over whether he could do it international level, because he got us playing in such a way, because he had us on the training pitch every day, pretty much. As Trippier, I saw an interview with Trippier recently, he said literally when you're at Tottenham under Poch, you don't have a day off ever, really.
He said they went 8 weeks with no day offs.
Literally. And obviously when you're an England manager, you go months without seeing your team. And is he able to get his England team playing in that way over such a short period of time? Obviously that's going to be a question mark. But if he can, I don't think there are many better managers to suit the kind of skill set of our squad right now. I think our squad could really do with a manager like Pochettino. So we're actually starting to play some better football because the attacking players we have demand that, in my opinion.
I just don't think he's a good fit for international football, like you say. And I think he needs, I think you're completely right in what you're saying. He needs to be on that training ground day in, day out, drilling it into the players, really hard work. And like you say, I don't think he can do that with England. But we'll see. If he does join England, I'll completely get behind it and stuff. But I'm just not sure if it's the right option. But we'll see. But then again, when you're looking at the options, who are the right option? I don't think there are any right options out there, to be honest. I think Eddie Howe would be a really good option. But is he going to leave Newcastle? Probably not.
Not right now.
When you're looking at English managers, there's no one really out there. Eddie Howe and Graham Potter, like the only ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, let's talk about Cuti Romero, as Gaston Edord, Argentinian journalist, is saying that Cuti Romero is expected now to be fit for World Cup's opener against Saudi Arabia next Tuesday.
It's good for him.
What a disgrace of a man.
Yeah, well, obviously he was left out of the friendly yesterday. Was number one of 3 players who weren't 100% fit, but he's obviously a very big player for them. Messi has gone on record to say what a difference Romero has made to their defence, and it's no surprise they're going to want him fit and ready for the World Cup opener against Saudi Arabia. So. Doesn't surprise me that he's fit and he's hoping to be fit. I'm still not sure about it, I guess, as of yet, but it doesn't surprise me because he is literally so important to them.
And last but not least, we've got some fixture changes for January for Tottenham when the Premier League comes back around. And the first one is the North London derby at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And that has been moved, surprisingly enough, actually, to a Sunday 4:30 kickoff, 15th of January. So I'll tell you what, that's going to be tasty on the high road, isn't it?
Definitely. Looking forward to that one. Yeah, 100%. We need to turn up again like we did last season because it's a big, big game and we're probably going to be behind them again when we play them.
It might be the first time we're going into a home game against Arsenal as not as favourites for a while.
Yeah. So we need to really turn up and make sure that we don't allow them to pull away further than they are already.
And the last one that was changed was Monday night football at Craven Cottage, 23rd of January. That has been moved to an 8 p.m. kickoff on the Monday night. So very much looking to Monday night football at Craven Cottage as well. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.